Hi, everybody. Usually we have doodle class on Fridays, but today is a special Monday edition. So thank you for joining. We're going to wait a bit and have everyone come on. I'm going to have a special guest today, which is super, super exciting. Someone I'm very, very proud to call a friend. So let's see if we can get him on. I've actually never. Okay, here we go. Jason is going to get patched in by the magical Instagram people. There he is. Hi.
It worked.
Oh my gosh. Did you flat iron your hair today?
I did a little bit, and then
It's so good.
thank you. It wasn't fully cooperating, but we'll go with it.
Okay. I have my pandemic chic hairdo going on right now.
I love it.
So clearly not flat ironed, but
I love
yeah, it has body. It has waves.
It's
Um,
perfect.
I'm so happy to have you on with me today. Thank you so much for joining my special edition of Doodle Class. So
I'm
have
so
have you ever have you ever joined Doodle Class before?
I haven't been able to yet. I'm so excited.
Okay. Well, that's
Mostly
great.
because I get nervous about drawing because I'm not that good. So I'm excited to show people that it's okay to not be good at
But you
drawing.
know what? Everyone says that, and I mean, I really think that everyone has an artist inside of them, but I also think that I do a really good job breaking it down so that anybody could follow along.
I love that.
But before we get started drawing, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions about our book baby here.
Yes.
So, for anybody who doesn't know, Jason and I made a book together called Porcupine Cupid. It is a Valentine's story. It just came out in December, so it is a brand new book. They always do the holiday books a couple of months in advance, but because Valentine's Day is coming up, we needed to give our little porcupine some love. So, Jason, tell us kind of what is this book about?
So this book follows our little matchmaker, Porcupine Cupid, as he's going about bringing his forest neighbors together so that they can find the love of their life. And that's what that's what it's about, sort of on paper and with the amazing illustrations and in the text. But the sort of sub level there, or beneath the surface level of this is about love and the unpredictability of it, about how it can spring up on you out of nowhere, and you're not expecting to fall in love with a person, but you just get these feelings, and how that's kind of the case for any emotion. Like, we can't say, "Oh, I'm going to be angry," and then we're just angry, or, "Oh, I'm going to be happy," and then we're just happy. It's like we're reacting to our environment, the people around us, what's going on around us, and we don't really have control over that. So that's what Porcupine is about in regards to love, how it can just be like popping up out of nowhere.
Right, and that's so true, and that's I think kids can translate to like it doesn't have to be romantic love, right? It's the love of a friend, it's the love of a
Yeah.
teacher, of a librarian, just that mutual kind of affection. I love that. And I actually had a question from a kid that I wanted to ask you from
Yes.
World Read Aloud Day. So
Ooh,
did you do World Read Aloud Day last week?
I didn't do it yet. I've been having such a hard time digitally. Like I this is really great where we're in this like
Mm-hmm.
question response, having a conversation, doing something. But I get so nervous about doing it by myself, like not being able to keep up the energy.
Oh, I something tells me you wouldn't have a problem with it. But I had a question that a kid asked me last week. And by the way, for anybody that doesn't know what World Read Aloud Day is, it's one day a year in February where authors and illustrators join via Zoom, Skype, Google Meet, whatever the school uses to talk to kids about books and making art and just the love of reading. So it was last week, and a kid asked me, how long did it take to write Porcupine Cupid? And I
Ooh.
didn't know what to say. So tell me, how long did it take?
So this took me probably, this is how it is with all my picture books. I get an idea, which usually starts with the title, and then I don't think about it at all. And it can be like months until I finally get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, from when I first wrote down the title, Porcupine Cupid, to when I had a finished product was probably like maybe 7 months. But
Yeah.
the actual time writing was probably about 7 minutes, where it was like, I just wait. don't think about it, and it's when my mind is in that nice quiet spot,
Yeah.
like hiding in the back of my brain is the title, and then all of a sudden the fully formed story comes to me, and I write that first
Hmm.
draft in about 7 minutes. I then send it to my critique group members, which you're a part of, and then and feedback. And so then it probably takes me about another week to gauge that feedback, because then I already realized kind of what I want to accomplish with the story and what's working or not working. So it can
Hmm.
work much faster in revising and getting it way more like agent ready after
Right.
that.
Yeah. I think that having critique partners that you trust is really important too. Because I know
Yeah,
for me, like I go on this like sort of up and down where this is the greatest idea I've ever had. And then like this idea is horrible. And I'm like, no, no, I love it. No, it's bad. And then you can't really like separate yourself from the work. So having other people look at it, especially, you know, those that you trust, I think always makes it better. So proud to be one
completely.
of those people for you. Okay,
I love.
so let me get my easel ready because
Okay,
we're gonna start drawing.
I have my
So
one of my.
the first, oh, that's perfect. So the first thing that we always do in doodle class is a materials check. So I have something to draw on, you have something to draw on. We're in good shape.
Yes.
So drawing tools. I had told Jason to bring a marker, something simple at home, because we don't use anything fancy at doodle class, right? We just use whatever we have at home. So this is my marker, and Jason looks like you have a marker as well.
Yes.
And I've actually got all of these color markers, but I think I'm just going to use pink today as my accent color. So I have that right here.
That's my favorite.
Now I'm going to just move
Oh,
my seat a little. Jason, what did you say? You cut
I
out a
said pink
second.
is my favorite color. I brought my pink, as you can tell, pink, pink, pink.
Awesome. I know I have like, oh, well, Instagram kind of cropped it off, but I have like a red cloth on my little desk here. I have my red shirt on. I've got my pink papers with the questions. So we're all styled here. Okay.
I love it.
So our friend Porcupine is actually made up of a lot of really simple shapes. So to your point earlier about where you say like it's really hard to draw something, if you think of it as a whole, sometimes it can feel that way. But if you break it down into parts, I promise it's much, much easier.
Okay,
So
great.
you can do it. I know you can. So the first thing we're going to draw is the body shape of Porcupine. And Porcupine's kind of got a little stout figure, not very statuesque. So kind of like a wide oval. So not quite a circle, but
Okay.
more of like a wide oval like that.
Okay.
You did it. You did it. Looks so good. You did it. So now Porcupine kind of has like a two-tone body, kind of like this lighter shade here and then a darker shade here. And see like that little dip over there where the darker shade starts? We're going to draw
Yeah.
in that little detail. So
Amazing.
kind of find the middle of your porcupine. You can put your finger there if it makes it a little easier for you. And then I
Okay.
want you to just move down a little bit. It's not scientific, so just kind of like find the middle and then just go down a little bit.
Like
So
there.
when you find that point, on the side of the circle here, we're going to draw a little kind of line that it's not quite straight and it's not quite a curve. Perfect. Now we're going to do the mirror image of that right on the other side.
Okay.
Kind of like that. Perfect. Now, oh, it looks good. Now we're going to take the top two of those little lines and we're going to follow along the curve that we already drew.
Okay, great.
Like this. Like that. Well done. Well
Woo!
done. So that's giving us kind of this that little dip shape over here. So
Cute.
now Porcupine has a little bit of a snout that sticks out. And so we're going to look at this inside curve that we drew, and then we're going to find kind of the midpoint.
Okay.
From, if I look at the bottom of the curve and the top of the curve, I'm going to kind of imagine where's that middle point, and I'll put my finger there too, so it's a little bit easier to find. And then I'm going to draw a shallow arc. So it's not like a full arc like this, it's a little flatter. And I'm going to do that in the center like this. And that is going to be porcupine snout.
Okay. Eh?
Yes, you are drawing with confidence, Jason June. I love it. I love it.
Doing it.
Right below here, we're going to draw porcupine's heart nose. And so I'll show you what porcupine's nose looks like. A little heart right there.
Oh.
So right underneath our arc shape there, we're going to draw porcupine's heart-shaped nose. It's a little bit of a flatter heart, not a very tall shaped heart. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. That's perfect. So now from the bottom point of the heart, we're going to draw a little line like that. Maybe about, well, I don't know how big your drawing is on the screen, but it's maybe a little bit taller than the heart itself. Perfect. Great. Now we're going to make along the bottom of that a little happy face.
Oh.
But we're not going to stop there with porcupine's mouth. That's going to be our first line. Yes, awesome. Now, just like we kind of drew an arc up here, we're going to draw an arc on the bottom of the mouth, just upside down.
Okay.
And that's going to be porcupine's happy open mouth like that.
Ah!
It's coming together. Now, in the bottom part of that little porcupine curve, we're going to give a little indication of like a little tongue. So I'm just going to put another little arc down there like that.
Cute.
Yep. See, you're doing it, Jason June. You are doing it. You tell me you can't draw. You're a liar.
Got this. I'm right here on the page.
Oh, there's Katie House. She says you got this. Looking good. Thank you, Katie. And I see Camille too.
So fun.
Lots of cheers for Jason June. Okay, so because I'm imagining that porcupine kind of has like a really happy, excited face. You see how my eyes kind of squint? We're going to draw some squinty eyes for porcupine. So we're going to go on the outer edges of that kind of snout arc that we drew, but we're going to be a little above it. And these are going to look like upside down letter U, like that.
Oh, cute.
Upside down letter U. Yes, yes. And then next to those arcs, we're going to draw what looks like a letter C right on the inside part here. And that's going to give a little indication of porcupine's ears, because porcupine wears glasses, which we're going to get to.
Okay, yeah.
And we can't have the glasses falling off without the ears. So we have the little ears right there. Yes, perfect, perfect. So now porcupine has really skinny little arms. So right on the side of the body here, I'm just going to draw kind of two little arms. And you can make them in a joyous position, kind of up like porcupine is cheering.
Great.
I hope everyone else is drawing along too. I see lots of people joining. Everyone can feel free to draw with us.
Oh.
Yes, so cute. And now we're going to add tiny little hands for porcupine. So porcupine, just like us, has a little thumb and 4 little fingers. So you want to make a little hand, just little sized, scale for those skinny little arms like that. It's almost like porcupine wants to give us a hug with those big arms, nice and open. Katie says, "Ack, my porcupine has wings." Maybe that can be our next title, Porcupine Grows Wings. Oh, yeah. Look at that happy porcupine, so cute. Okay, now we're gonna draw the legs. So just like porcupine has little skinny arms, porcupine has little skinny legs. And rather than draw the legs coming straight down like this, I actually draw them on a slight angle, kind of facing inside, almost like a ballerina legs, kind of. So I'll show you. One leg here and one leg here. So see how they kind of angle in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do they meet at the bottom, the lines?
They do. See, one of mine kind of did. You don't have to make them meet. I wouldn't make them meet. My quick haphazard drawing made them meet a little bit.
I love it.
But that's the great part about doodle class is we're not perfect. We just keep going. Oh, that is awesome. That looks really good. Now we're gonna add little feet. So let me pull out this sample here of what porcupine's little feet look like.
Cute.
So they're kind of like triangle shape with little sharp little toes. So if you want to add some little feet onto porcupine off of those little legs, be super cute. It definitely looks like porcupine wants to give us a hug. I love it.
Oh my God, porcupine anatomy harder for me.
Oh yes, I love it. It's so cute. Okay, so now, actually, remember when we drew the inside of the mouth here?
Yeah.
Where you put the little tongue? In the area that is not the tongue, color that in black.
Okay.
I forgot that part. You see, even the illustrator that draws the book, sometimes we forget stuff. But we just keep rolling and we just keep doing it.
Woo!
Yes, I'm so proud of you. It looks so good so far. Okay, now we're going to put this drawing tool away for now. We're going to get our accent color.
Perfect.
So get your pink or your red or whatever you're going to use. Perfect. Are you also using the Crayola Super Tips, my favorite markers of all time?
Yeah, I'm using, it's called, I think it's Ohuhu art markers,
Ooh.
but it's got a broad side
That
and then a...
Oh, nice. Nice. Those are cool because they give a lot of versatility to have like the chisel tip and the little tip.
Yes, and I got it just for this and now I love it. Now I just want to color everything.
Yeah, but I do recommend, if for anybody that has maybe, you know, not a lot of budget for art supplies, but you want really bright, vibrant colors, Crayola Super Tips. You can get these at the regular craft store. I freaking love these things. They're awesome.
Yes.
Okay, now that we gave Crayola some free advertising, let's take our accent color and color in that little nose. That little heart nose. Give that little heart nose a little bit of color. Jason, I love how serious your face looks when you draw. Awesome. And now
awesome.
do the same thing for the tongue. Color in that little tongue. Yes. And now we are going to add Porcupine's eyeglasses. And so first I want to tell you why I put eyeglasses on Porcupine. So I was researching about real porcupines, which by the way are not very cute in real life. Like if you think cute animal, it is not a porcupine, okay? They're kind of freaky looking. But I learned that they're nearsighted. And I thought that that was really cool. And I've been wearing lenses of some kind since I've been 4 years old. So I love to draw characters with eyeglasses. So as soon as I learned that porcupines were nearsighted, I was like, this guy's getting some eyeglasses. So what, here's like kind of the relative size. They're kind of big for his face, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to draw around Porcupine's eyes, big circles. And these don't have to be perfect circles.
Okay.
And I'm kind of going over them a little bit just because I want them to be a little thicker for my drawing. But you don't have to do that if you don't want to. And once you have those circles, you can connect them in the middle with a little arc, just like we drew the arc for the snout.
I'm nervous. I don't want to
You
let
can
lens
do it.
crafter.
Yes, I love it. And so now on the sides where we made our little ears, we're going to draw just a little line that kind of curves around the ear, and it can even stick off Porcupine's face a little bit, kind of like mine does.
Perfect.
So cute. Now we're done. No, we're not done. What are we missing? What is like the most important part of this book?
We need his quills.
We need the quills. That's right. Okay, so now the quills that I drew in the book kind of have their two colors. They kind of have these little pink stripes on there. But in doodle class, we're not exact. We're not precise. We just like to have fun. So our quills are going to be a little bit more stylized, and just single color. So around that inner arc shape that we drew, and you can actually go below it as well out the side of Porcupine, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to start adding quills. And quills are literally just a line. If you can draw a line, you can draw a porcupine quill. And you want to kind of have them not all start from the exact same spot. You want to kind of have them start from uneven spots around that arc. Actually, porcupine looks a little wild with just this half quilled mohawk I have here.
Just make a really long one.
And you can just keep going all the way around porcupine and add those quills.
My dang clipboard clip is getting in the way.
Yeah, just go around them. You just go around and we make it work.
He does look like a punk as you go along.
As an illustrator, as you're working on a book, you always kind of run into issues, and it's problem solving. You got to figure out a way around it. I think artists are very resilient, as are writers. Awesome.
I love this. Oh,
yes!
Mine.
Yours is like a rock star porcupine.
I'll take it.
It looks so cute. Yes, yes, great job.
Oh my gosh, so much.
And so now, if I don't know how many other colors that you have with you. If you only have the two colors, then take your black pen again. But if you have something like a gray, that will work too, because we're going to put a little shadow underneath Porcupine's feet here. So I'm going to use a gray marker. Perfect. Just because I happen to have one. But right now, our porcupine is kind of like floating in this white space, right? So a little trick that I always show in doodle class is just adding a little shadow can kind of ground the whole character and make them look like they're not floating around in space. So what we're going to do is we are just going to put a little shadow, and I'm just scribbling back and forth here, kind of around Porcupine's feet, like that. And now it looks like Porcupine is standing on something. It's just such a little fun detail that you can add to a drawing. Natalia says, I'm burning my food just to draw along. It sounds like she has something in the kitchen that is now jeopardizing the safety of her home. Don't start a kitchen fire, Natalia. You can come back to your drawing. Nice. Awesome. That's perfect. And then the last step that I would do, which is optional for everyone, because I always like to leave kind of some things about the drawings in doodle class a little open-ended, so everyone can kind of add their, whatever they want that's special to them to the drawing. We have these two arms sticking out here, so a porcupine could be giving us a hug, or a porcupine could be holding something. So I actually think I'm going to make my porcupine holding a heart-shaped balloon.
Oh, I love that.
Up here, like that, a little heart-shaped balloon for my porcupine. And maybe I will color that in too. You can make your porcupine, you guys who are following along, you can make your porcupine holding a lollipop. You can make your porcupine holding a piece of pizza. It could be a book, whatever you want. And if you have some more colors that you want to add a little color to your detailed area, you can. Yay! Let's see how yours turned out, Jason. How did your porcupine turn out? So precious. So how did it feel to draw a porcupine? At the beginning, you said, I can't draw. I'm really bad at this. So tell me how you felt kind of following along, because your final product looks so good.
I loved everything about this. Currently, I'm still thinking I will not be able to illustrate my own books in the future. to try. Yeah. And that's what most, right? That we don't shy away from the things that scare us.
Exactly. And it's also more about the process than the finished product, right? Because
Yeah.
if you have fun when you're doing it, that's totally what it's about.
I love everything about that. I love coloring.
And
Coloring something in is very therapeutic for me. Like this balloon, I'm just like, ah,
yeah, exactly. And also, we've all been through such a stressful year that just the process of drawing,
yes,
there's those like coloring books that they marketed to adults and everything. And I love all that stuff because I think that, just making something with your hands and getting into that flow state can really relax you.
totally.
Um, yeah. So before we finish up this doodle class, I wanted to ask you about your upcoming book
Yes,
that is coming in June, I believe,
yes,
correct? Called
yes,
Jay's Gay Agenda.
yep.
And I mean, we would not be authors if we didn't plug forthcoming books in
That's right.
our marketing for our current book, right? So tell me about Jay's Gay Agenda and why everyone needs to read it.
Yeah, that one is a young adult rom-com. So it's like it's in this whole theme of love. It's love story for our teen crowd there, and what it really means to be seen as a romantic being for the first time, and especially how unique that experience is when you're from the queer community. That
Mm-hmm.
especially like for Jay and like I did when I was growing up, I lived in a small rural area, like a farming town. And I was the only out person in my whole high school. So it felt kind of like a lonely island until I finally was able to move to a big city and meet others in the queer community.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about just kind of like the mistakes, that unpredictability of love, but how it's all about the conversations you have, owning up to mistakes as you're figuring out who you are as a romantic being, that really creates such strong, loving bonds.
And that sounds like such an important book that is going to be loved by so many readers who are probably out there in that same position that you were and are looking to see themselves somewhere if they're not seeing themselves around in their school or in their community. So thank you for putting that book into the world. I'm so excited. When is the date? June what?
June 1st. It like
June
worked out perfect.
1st.
Yeah, where it was,
Very auspicious date. It's going to be
yes,
great.
yes. I going to be June 1st. That fell on a Tuesday. That's the beginning of Pride Month. It's my namesake month. So
Oh,
fun.
it's great. That's awesome. So before we go, what are your Valentine's Day plans? Anything fun?
My Valentine's Day plans are going to be to stay home. Uh,
Hmm.
it's normally one of the holidays that my husband and I like to go travel somewhere new, which is always such a fun experience. But
Yeah.
we've really been bonding a whole lot with our house lately. And so it just has felt like such a safe, loving place to be. So we'll just, make some dinner, hang out at the house, order in some
Yeah.
flowers, and call it a day.
Sometimes, yeah, the best like celebrations are the ones that are cozy and at home, for
Yeah.
sure.
And this year
Um,
has taught us that. So it's like,
yeah, oh, for sure. And in
yeah.
our house, because I have lots of Valentines, because I have three boys, my husband and my two sons, and Mona. So
Yes.
I have lots of organizing to do, but we are all going to read Porcupine Cupid as a family. I will probably force everyone to draw. It's believe it or not, my kids have never joined my own doodle class, but that's fine.
It's
Um, but yeah, we're just going to hang out at home too. But that sounds great. So thank you so much again for joining me for this special edition of Doodle Class. And to everyone who joined along with us and that was drawing, Natalia, if your kitchen did not burn down, we would love for you to send your drawing. And anyone else, you can tag me at Lori Richmond Draws, or you can tag Jason at Hey Jason June, or you can tag both of us. We
yes.
would love to see your artwork, so please send them. And again, check out our book, Porcupine